And we're live. Oh, I can't see anything yet. Here we go. We're live. Hello, folks. Not that there's anyone watching yet. I'm doing a live stream. I've been having so much fun. Sorry. What was I going to say? Hello. Happy New Year. I'm having lots of fun with Automobilista 2 at the moment. Reza Studios have been absolutely stellar over Christmas and have brought us such great new content, and they just keep improving the game. Literally, these guys bring out updates faster than a COVID-19 infection could spread through a sneeze. They're amazing. So I thought I've got a couple of hours free, so I thought I'd go racing. So what I've done here, as you should be able to see on your screen, is I've set up a server here in Automobilista 2. If you want to find it, just look for the name TARMAC TERRORIST. We're going to have single make races, short ones, just 20 minutes practice, 15 minutes qualify around some different tracks, and I'm going to send out some invites to try and get the server full. So now my stream's going. Because, you know, why not? We're all locked down, you know. We're all locked down in our homes, well, most of us. So, why not? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this video link. And first of all, let's go and post that on my Facebook. So, I'm now typing that I'm live for the next couple of hours. So that's to all me mates. Okie dokie. Post a link to the YouTube video in there so we can get some people involved. Come and say hi, you know. So that's now posting on my Facebook. There we go. Cool. And I'm going to go over to the Facebook of Automobilista 2. There's a Facebook group, Automobilista 2. So if people want to come and talk, you know, anything Automobilista or just watch the racing, we'll have people there. You can't see what I'm doing on my screen, but I'm swapping between loads of screens here whilst I just get this set up. This is the boring part. This is just, hopefully we'll have people jump in soon. Right, so tell the guys over at the Automobilista Facebook group. So I'm just telling them if you want to come and join in with some racing. I'm live for couple of in this awesome sim. That's what I'm typing. So pop the YouTube link in there. There we go. So we can close that down now. We don't need that open anymore. Close down the Facebook page. Let's have a look at OBS, which is what I'm streaming through. No one joining yet, but let's have a look at YouTube. No one watching yet. That's all right, but can't embarrass myself too much. Well, I can when you watch this back, if anyone watches this back. Let's tell all the people on Race Department. Race Department's an excellent sim racing site. They've been working hard over Christmas, so Happy New Year to all you guys out there. I'll just let them know. So I'll post a link up to them as well. Hope they don't mind over at Race Department. Just a friendly invitation to come and watch or come and chat about Automobilista 2 live. Seeing as we're all locked down, I've got the capability to do this streaming stuff, so that's now gone up. Let's invite some people from Discord. So... And it sounds like I just heard Automobilista make a bump noise there. We've got a driver. Let's say hello to them. Hello, Simracing. Oh, quite excited about this. Oh, they've gone again. I've had some people already join in and they've gone, oh, you're only racing a single car. I've gone, yes, and they've gone, bye then. No one likes single make racing. Oh well, you know, keeps things equal for everyone. Right, let's get my YouTube link copied into here. Right, so let's post that invite to all the groups that I know on... Oh! Where am I now? Let's post a link in there. And post a link to my friends over here. Will they be upset if I don't post a link in there? Where can I post a link in there? Cars and Fuels, GT Pit Lane. I'm just in Discord at the moment, so... Right, well that's posted and linked, so let's get out of Discord, just so I retain my bandwidth. How are we doing? So, I was going to post in another place. Oh yeah, invite people on Steam. That's the thing to do. So, back to AMS2. And let's invite a load of people. Let's invite Shad. This could be really embarrassing. I might not get any people at all. Let's see now. Where else can we go? Whilst we're inviting people. Racing will start at some point. So... oh yeah, Steam. See who's online. Oh, hardly anyone online. Well, it is, you know, I suppose 1:30 on a Tuesday. And people who can go back to work have gone back to work. Else this could end up being a really boring stream. Well, whilst I'm waiting for people to join, let's even there's no one in here, let's start the server anyway. We're at Snetterton, which is my, well, home racetrack here in Norfolk, or closest racetrack. Just down the road, not far from Norwich, our capital. And we've got the lovely McLaren here, 450 brake horsepower, and seven gears in this thing. 7, count them. So here we are at Snetterton. If you can hear any piano being played and housey beats in the background, I don't know if that's coming through. That's my brother playing in the next room. He's a jazz musician. He's cool. Oh, let's just go back to... Automobilista 2. Let's have a drive around. Let's have a look at Snetterton. We've got 10 laps of fuel in the car. That'll do. Automatic pit lanes on. So I've put automatic pit lane on, so the car drives itself out of the pits for you. Just because if I use manual pit lane, a lot of people will forget to turn their speed limiter on, speed through the pit lane, and then get disqualified from the session, so they can't drive, so they won't stay. So first things first, let's stick her in neutral and sort out my HUD, because on my HUD I've got the mirror on, and I can see the mirror in this car, the actual real mirror, just fine. So we don't need a virtual mirror, so let's get rid of that. I love that about this HUD, that you can just edit like that. It's fantastic, really. And you can move stuff about as well, you know, like if I wanted to move my gear indicator about, I could move that around, but I don't, so we're going to leave it down there for the moment. Right, save that. Right, this car's paddle shift, so I'm using my flappy paddles on my steering wheel. I once sat on that corner just there that I'm going around at Snetterton, for real. I was there watching the touring cars, and Jason Plato was racing, and as the touring cars came past, I had a little sketchbook and I was sketching the cars. I focused on one car. It was an Astra, and every time it came past I drew a little bit more of it and did this rough sort of sketch of the car going around the track. And then at the end of the race, I went into the pits, well, around the pits, or where the drivers were getting presented their trophies, and I met Jason Plato, and he signed my drawing. Still got that somewhere. So that was when I watched that. It was when it was the outer track. This track now has the infield track. I love it. Even more track to race around. Got a nice tight, slightly banked corner there. You want to get right on the inside of that. And then this one, double-edged sword. This one, you can go too slow or too fast. You want to be getting that apex on the inside and then using all of that curbing and the green bit, not the grass, but the green sort of netting there. You can use all of that on the way out, and then hard on the brakes, and watch the back end as you come to all these two corners there, and try not to hit the sausage curb, which I just clipped on the inside there. We're down here at the bomb hole. It dips down. You can go quite fast around. They use the camber of the corner. And we've got another double-edged sword kind of corner here. Long and wide. You've got to get your speed just right to maximise it. And then hard on the brakes for this tight left-hander, missing the sausage curb. That's the green stuff on the outside before you hit the main straight again. So whilst we're waiting for people to join, let's see what kind of a lap time I can get around here. I remember when I watched the touring cars come around here, they were doing about 100 around that corner. Oh, I've just nearly lost it at 84 miles per hour. By the way, on my Speedo here, in the car, you can see it's what, 130, 120. That's kilometers per hour. But on the right over here, you've got miles per hour. So I'm currently doing 60 miles per hour. 60 miles, or around 60 miles per hour, which is around 6 kilometers per hour. So that should give you a good idea of speed, whether you're European or in a country where they measure speed in kilometers per hour, or if you're, you know, American or British or Australian, and you'll have it in miles per hour. Before I set this lap time, I've just realised that I need to come back to the pits for a second and check my OBS, because I think my face is right in the way of the left mirror. So I'm going to move my face over to the other side of the screen. There we go. Oh, and also just got 2 concurrent viewers. Hello Daniel. Daniel Elliard says hi, mate. How you doing, mate? If you've got AMS2, mate, come and join us. Come and have a race. If not, you know, just come and chat away. So I'm also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my YouTube chat window is on top of the game, so I can see when people say hi, because, you know, that would be useful and stuff. So there we go. Right, let's try and set a lap time. Daniel, if you're still watching, I'm in a McLaren, GT4 McLaren. I'm at Snetterton, because closest racetrack to me here in Norfolk. And Daniel says he's eating lunch and also watching. Oh, what you having? Anything nice? See what kind of lap time I can get. I've never, as I completely missed the apexes of the first really tight corner there, I've never gone around this track in a McLaren and tried to set I've been on this track in the McLaren before, but I've not sort of tried to set a decent lap time. The server is open to people. I might go on other people's servers. I might keep running my own. If no one joins my own, I definitely will be going to other people's servers. Look for a full one. Daniel's having pasta. I haven't had pasta for ages. My mum does quite a nice pasta bake with mushrooms and cheese. It's lovely. Talking of lovely, I love this sim. This sim's great at the moment, no matter what you think of it, because, you know, there are mixed views on it. Is it a bit sort of, a lot of people don't like it because it came from the Project Cars 2 engine, the Madness engine, and there's still, you know, characteristics of the physics from that and the force feedback in this game. But this sim, what Reza Studios have done with it, I think it feels absolutely fantastic. I really do. And that goes for most of the cars. The tracks are beautiful. I like some of the ideas in it. Generally, as a full sim, I kind of, you know, you could say, well, it hasn't got the FFB, that the force feedback that R Factor has. Well, R Factor's got the highest, the force feedback in that is measured at, what is it, 1000 or 2000 megahertz per second, so that's always going to have the most precise force feedback. I don't think this is quite there yet, but I think it feels just great. But with that and the amount of different types of motorsport you can try out in this, the different cars, the variety, the tracks, I've been introduced. This sim has made me want to visit Brazil if I ever get the chance. So, hola to any of you out there. Because the racing, we'll do some Brazilian tracks today as well. The racing scene out there is amazing, and I had no idea of this, but I didn't think, you know, home of Ayrton Senna, of course there must be lots of racing fans out there, and of course you've got the very famous F1 Interlagos track in Sao Paulo out there. Now, it's introduced me to a load of tracks in there, including places like Velocita, Velo Park, Guyana. There's lots of modern tracks out there that were built in the last decade or two, which is just fantastic, and I'm only discovering them because of this sim. The fact that, you know, you've got a fairly decent damage system in the sim, I'm a stickler for that. I like that. It reminds me of things like GTR 2. That had a great damage system. I think the damage system in this is going to get better and better, because I can see little bits of evidence of that within the sim of what might be to come. I think there's a lot of potential in this engine under the hood. That I think that's why Riva have chosen it, because they've seen that. You know, so for all of its flaws, they must be under the impression that they can iron those out. But also, there are things that it will do that when it was being used in Project Cars 2, it just didn't utilise, which I think they're planning on doing. And of course, there's more DLC coming for it. There's more. I mean, as well as the DLC, they release free stuff for us all the time. I mean, the GT1 cars, wow, fantastic. And we got those for free over Christmas. Isn't that brilliant? I've got the season pass, so of course I get DLC like Spa. But I mean, if you haven't got the season pass, it's not too expensive, and then you can buy it in the Steam sales when it's on discount as well. So, you know, for a couple of quid, price of a pint down the pub maybe. So what are we doing? We're doing 205 so far, and I'm not really trying. Oh. It isn't quite as grippy as the tarmac, that green stuff. And maybe want to set my brake bias a little bit further forward. Stop me losing the back end there. Or I could try improving my driving. These GT4 cars, loads of fun. You know, like GT3s, but not with all the aero. So they can get a little bit looser on track. I hope some people join the server soon, or because you'll have an easy time. Hey, Nemesis69's here. Hello, Nemesis. He's on the YouTube. What's up? Come and join me, mate. Server's called Tarmac Terrorist. Or you might be busy and just want to talk AMS2 for a bit. So if you want to say anything interesting or controversial about Automobilista 2, do. If you want to come and join me on the server, you know I'm easy to beat. This is the attraction of racing with me. I'm not very fast. I like to think I am. I like to think I'm a total G when it comes to driving, but, you know, in my experience, I've found out that I am nowhere near alien status. Usually about 4 or 5 seconds off alien status, which of course in racing terms is a millennia of time. But I've just set a new fastest lap. Let's see how fast I can take this corner. Can I do it at 100? No, 86. I want to take that corner at 100 because the touring cars, when I watched Jason Plato and that lot go round here, they were doing about 100 round there. At least that's what he told me. Oh, and I've, yeah, left the braking too late again, and I've taken that back end to come around. So let's, I'm going to move. Can you see on my screen now near my steering wheel, you can see a little white message coming up saying brake bias. That's me adjusting my brake bias a little bit more, a couple of clicks towards the front. Nemesis69 has not replied, so I expect what he is now doing is actually, he's not looking at the YouTube, but he's firing up the game, and he's going to come and join me on track. He's a good driver. Oh no, hang on. He says I've lost me. I've lost the car on the grass because I'm reading the YouTube. He says, yeah, move to 67. Hang on. What do you mean move to 67? I don't understand that, Nemesis. Does that mean you're moving your name from Nemesis 69 to 67? Now, the rules that I'm racing under for the race at least, are 3. If you cut the track more than 3 times, you'll get a drive-through. So I don't want to be cutting the track, which is basically putting 4 wheels over the white line. You're allowed 2 off the white line, like this. 2 are on the track, 2 are on the white line. But if all 4 go off, that's a track cut warning. We've got 15 minutes in the race. There's 20 minutes of qualifying. And weather slots. So the first half of the race is always going to be bright and clear. The second half of the race, I've set a random weather slot, so we don't know what will happen with the weather. If that's working properly. There are, you know, like any sim, this has still got, around 90 miles an hour for that corner there, so I'm pleased with that. Wiggles Gaming has joined. So I'm going to just slow my car down, or actually I'm going to come back to the pits, say hello to Wiggles. I think he's someone who streams on, oh no, he's left the gate, he's left already. I was going to say hello to him. I think he streams on Twitch. Whilst we're in the pits, let's just check what's going on. Oh, we've got 3 viewers at the moment. Hello out there, Happy New Year. Hola! If any of you are from Brazil and Portuguese speaking. Not that I'm any good at that. Let's just check some of the sites where I've posted my invite. We got any messages coming back? Bonjour, says Lisa Bunting. She's not watching the stream at the moment. She just said hello to me on my Facebook. Let's get back into AMS2. So basically, you guys can just you're just seeing Automobilista 2 yet at the moment. But I've just jumped out of there and jumped back in again on my computer here. So we've got no people in the server yet, which is good because that gives me time to practice, which means that hopefully I won't be last when we actually do have enough people to have a race against. So basically, if no one joins, what I'll do, and this leads to something I'd like to discuss about Automobilista 2. If no one joins, it'll then go to the next session, which is the race. I only have qualify and race settings set up, so there's no practice or anything like that. It'll go straight to the race and there'll just be me on track. So what will happen is I shall immediately retire as soon as the race starts, which will then allow me to come back to the lobby and reset the server to go back into qualifying, which then allows people to join, because people can only join as spectators during the race. If they want to join in and actually race with me on track, they have to join in qualifying. And the reason that leads me to a point I'd like to discuss is because there is no option yet in AMS2 to vote to jump to the next session or vote to restart weekend. So if everyone in the server wants to do that, if you're in a dedicated server and there's no one running the server, you know, it's just doing it automatically. You can't all vote as a collective to sort of proceed to whichever session you want to. Hopefully that will come along. I think you can do it on the dedicated server, but when you surf from the game, if you set up a qualifying session for 15 minutes or 30 minutes even, you have to be in there for that amount of time. You can't just all vote to switch over, or as the actual person running the server, you can't do that yourself. So I hope Reza will do something about that. They're doing so much about everything in the game. They keep bringing updates. I come back after every update. I read the update log, because of course they produce a kind of a statement which they release on Steam Race Department. Do go and visit that site if you want to learn about sim racing, or you want any information on sim racing. You need to be on Race Department. It is the sim racing hub. You'll find out about all the sims there, and they're all pretty great. I lost my train of thought. So yeah, we've got 24 seconds left before it goes to overtime. If I jump out before it gets to the end of that time, hopefully it won't go to overtime and it'll go straight to race. I can retire and then restart the qualifying session so people can join. So with 5 seconds to go, let's do that. Oh, another thing I'd like to see brought in, and the reason I'm saying all of this live is, and when I comment on the forums, is because if you do comment on Reese's forums or on Race Department, their staff go and look at these forums and they really do listen to what people want and they like. So if you say you'd like a feature enough, they'll probably go and do it. So that's the race started, but immediately we're going to retire to the pit box, and then because I've done that and there's no one else in the server, that then allows me to return to the lobby, which I'm now doing. And then hopefully that will allow people to join. So whilst that's going on, how long have we been streaming for? 31 minutes of me nattering away like a fool. And four of you are watching apparently. Hello, 4 of you. Nice even number there of people watching. Oh, hello! Someone's joined. It's Daniel! Let's say hello to him. I'm going to say hello to him in the game. Hi. Daniel. Oh. I've got no idea who that is, and I'm busy. So, sorry phone, you're going to have to go on silent. I should have done that before I started the stream, shouldn't I? How very unprofessional of me. Hello Daniel, you made it. So we got Daniel. Shall I just start? Shall I start the qualifying session or wait for some more people to join? Well, we've got Daniel, so let's vote to start. I like that. This is one thing I do like. There's so much I do like about Reese. I'm going to go over points that I like about Automobilista 2, as well as points that I think could be improved. In my humble opinion, here's me telling, Reese what to do. Just giving suggestions. But I really like the fact that you've got a lobby, So Daniel's in here with us. Excuse me. Clearing my throat, that's another thing I should do before I start a stream. So, I'm just going to get out on the track here. I'm going to have to move my YouTube window because it's obscuring my main mirror. So I'll move that to down here. There we go. Ah, there is Daniel. I've lost control of my steering because I'm not in Automobilista 2, I'm on YouTube. I'm back in Automobilista 2. There is so that, for anyone who's not used to sim racing or online gaming or Automobilista 2, that's Daniel. That car up there isn't the computer driving, that's a real person. That is Daniel Elliard. Oh, Nemesis has just come back and said that when he said he was talking about 67, he meant brake bias, not 69. So let's follow Daniel. He's warming up his tyres, look. He's doing that thing you see racing drivers do before the start of a race, which is weaving from side to side, which gets heat into the tyres. If you want a good visual of that, here you go. They're my tyre temps. This is my telemetry HUD. If I weave from side to side, that's in Fahrenheit by the way, not Celsius. That's another thing, you can change the display between imperial and metric, which is quite good. You can see those tyre temps are now warming up as I weave around. But let's get rid of all of that. Oh, lovely little spit of flame coming out the exhaust on Daniel's car there. He's chosen the red car, red and black. I'm in a kind of grey and mostly grey car with yellow and white lines around it. I have got the graphics turned up pretty much to, I think everything's at least on high or full, if you're wondering about my settings. And if you're wondering how that runs on my system specs I think I've put in the description for this video, along with my links to my Patreon account if you want to support me, and also if you enjoy my stuff, hit the subscribe button on the video and subscribe to my channel so I won't be lonely. So let's get me HUD up. Let's see what speed. If I can get to 100 round this corner, I'm going to be really happy. So concentrate. Fourth gear. Oh, Daniel going a bit sideways. We just hit the corner at 92 miles per hour. Daniel is... Oh! Where is he? Oh, he's just... there he is behind me. In my wing mirrors. Very easy to go off out of that corner when I went and watched the racing here. I must go back. I paid 25 quid to go and watch the touring cars there, and I spent the entire day there. Best 25 quid I've ever spent. Saw the touring cars, the Porsche Carrera Cup. I think the F3s, the Renault Clio Juniors, and the classic touring cars. That was amazing. You'd think those old boys driving the classic touring cars would really take care of those old machines. They drove more aggressively than some of the juniors in the Clio Cup. It was amazing. I love this McLaren. It's so alive, you know. You can feel that back. Oh! There is a slight oddness to the steering when you go over curves like that. But it's just the grip on the back wheels goes when you hit that green stuff, you see. Daniel's on the outside. I don't want to hit him. Can't see him yet. If you see that there was a little red arrow just came up near my steering wheel. That's my proximity indicator. Because I'm racing on a single screen, obviously I haven't got peripheral vision. So that lets me know if there's a car beside me or not, or I can lose my look left and right buttons. But normally, in real life, you'd be doing that with your head. It sort of jars your brain a bit if you're using buttons, so it's useful to have those there. So, are we getting lap times yet? I've got a 2:12. Oh, yes! 90 miles an hour. We're 10 miles an hour off 100. Around the first corner here at Snetterton. Brake early for this hairpin. Actually got the apex this time. Overtaking Daniel. No, he's still there. Fast around the outside he was. And out onto the green stuff. Careful with the grip there. Totally screwing up my gears. I don't know, this is another thing that I'm loving about AMS2. If you saw Daniel when his tyres just hit the outside grass there, you saw it brought up a little bit of you could see graphically some of the dirt. If you go off track and go into the dirt, when you come back on track, you bring dirt onto the track. I've had this when I was racing, I think at Guyana, and there was a corner where cars were cutting it quite a lot. Not cutting it, but getting two wheels on the grass quite a lot, and it was bringing the dirt onto the track. And the more dirt that came onto the track, every time I did a lap and I'd drive over, I could hear it clattering around underneath the car, and I think it impacts the grip on the track as well. So that's a pretty amazing thing. Oh, came in a bit too hot there at the chicane before the bomb hole. Back end trying to get away from me there. Daniel, I think, is going to end up with a faster lap time than me. Right, brakes, brakes, brakes. There you go, you see that dirt coming up there? So what are we looking at in terms of lap time now? Daniel's slowing down, not quite sure why. Right. Oh! Coming in at about 94 miles an hour, dropping down to 86 around the corner there. Braking early, but not early enough. Ah! For the hairpin and totally screwing it up. Hairpin? So this whole, just going on to current affairs, this whole lockdown thing, COVID-19, a lot of us here in the UK are on full lockdown, tier 4, you know, can't go out, stay at home, all that kind of thing. Well, that's a brilliant excuse for us sim racers to have a little virtual holiday. And it's a great thing about sim racing, you go anywhere in the world, especially in this sim. You know, you got Kailami in Africa you can go to, you can stay here in England at Donington, so you're just up the road. You can go over to Germany for a day, go race at Hockenheim in a DTM car. Oh, I love those. I love the DTM cars. Classic DTM touring cars. You know, you can go to Brazil, go to Sao Paulo or Velocita that I mentioned earlier. You can go to Japan. It's Australia, Adelaide, Bathurst. It's brilliant. But in terms of sims being also computer games, the computer games industry at the moment must be absolutely booming with this lockdown, because there's a lot of people online. They're stuck in their homes, you know, and they've got a PC or a console. They're on it. And I think they'll have probably made more money out of the Steam. Oh, 91 miles an hour around that corner, we're getting faster. They'll have probably made more money this Steam sale, I should think, than they ever have done, with everyone buying stuff online. So I think the computer games industry is doing well. And we've got Elza Noons joined. Let's say a quick hello to him. I'm typing through the game whilst I'm driving. This is don't text and drive. Oh, I didn't type that very well. I was spelt there with a W. Yes, don't text and drive. Shouldn't really even be doing it on a server, but I knew there was no cars behind me, so I did see, I think, someone there, but they were way in the distance, so I had time to type hello at least. L Noons. Cheers for joining Noons. That's not going to do my lap time any good, is it, typing whilst I'm driving? If anyone's curious about the hardware I'm using, I am on a FANATEC Clubsport 2.5 base with a P1 wheel, which I got second hand from a very nice man in Essex called Keith. He's moved up to a direct drive wheel. He's an iRacing fan. And I've got the CSL Elite pedals with Loadcell, which are, I think, incredibly impressive pedals for what they cost. Mofo Webbs has joined. We're getting more humans in the server. And we've got 8 minutes to go before the race. Things are getting good here. Well, I'm doing pretty well. I'm in first position with my lap time, so I'm going to just pull off some safely on the track. I'm in the grass there. That's another nice feature about this simulation, by the way. If you've got a powerful graphics card, you can have all of this lovely candy, the detailed grass, the crepuscular rays, all of that, or you can turn it off. And this game looks brilliant whether everything's on low or high. It's great. Right, so let's get back to the pits, because I'm going to say hi to Mofo. Oh, another person has joined. We've got a Francesco. Hi. Francesco. I'm brilliant at typing. I've never learned how to touch type blatantly. Let's have a look at my YouTube stream. That's nice and healthy there. Cool. Whilst they're doing the qualifyings, I'll just check the interweb. Not much going on there. Where is Francesco? There he is. For anyone who's interested, this is the setup page. This is basic setup, so you can change things like your fuel, how much steering lock you got, your brake bias, rear downforce, and in here you've got your advanced setup. So one thing I'm going to do in the advanced setup, that's you got suspension, drivetrain, which is you can change your diff and your gearing, suspension, which is quite obvious. We're going to go and lower the tyre pressures a bit. In fact, we're going to lower them all the way down for as much grip as possible. Now, this is a thing. One of my favourite things is R factor 2, and in R factor 2, it's a big trick that you just lower your pressures as far as they'll go, and you don't really get much tyre wear, but you get more grip. So in this, you tend to get more grip, but it does seem to have an adverse effect on how quickly your tyres wear, because, you know, with less air in there, they're moving about a bit more, and you get more wear. But seeing as we're on short races here of only 15 minutes, I don't think we need to. I've got tyre wear turned on to its, you know, normal amount. Mofo's just said hi, Tarmac. That's me, or at least that's my online name. Called Paul in real life, whatever that is. So let's see now. I've got 4 minutes, 5 minutes to set a lap time. Let's see if I can get a faster lap time with these lower tyre pressures. Oh, who's that in front of us there? Mofo says hi. I love that name. Yo, Mofo! So we're catching up with Daniel Elliard, who's obliterated my lap time by about 2 seconds. Is that 2 seconds? Can't be. I suppose it can be. I am, you know, Mr. Sloppy. I certainly have been in the way I've been driving so far. Let's try and concentrate a bit more. Oh, get that brake bias a little bit more towards the front. More people joining. We've got Blogs and Magzoli. Oh, we've got a race, folks. We've got a race. You can see up there in the on the top left of the screen who's out there on track, who's in pits. They're highlighted in blue if they're in the pit with a blue pit sign. Can we catch Daniel? He is, so far, D. Elliard, the fastest person on track. 92 miles an hour around that corner now. I'm getting faster. I'm saying fastest man on track, fastest person on track, because maybe, you know, there might be the odd person in here who is not a man. Sim racing is so, let's face it, cock heavy. There's lots of blokes, not many girls, which is weird because there are a lot of girls in real racing now. You know, I sometimes wonder if I'll ever see Sabine Schmidt. She's a bloody fast driver. Did the Norch live for in about 10 minutes. Oh, someone's off there. In a transit van? What a driver! I wonder if I'll ever see her online one day in the sim racing scene. I wonder if she uses sims to practice, as some of the real race drivers do. I wonder if there's a descendant of Michel Mouton in the rally sims somewhere. That would be cool. And is that someone else joining or leaving? I don't know. But we got 7 drivers. 7 drivers for a 15-minute race, which is going to be starting very shortly. If you're watching and you're thinking of, if you've got Automobilista 2 and you want to join in, jump in. Come and join us. Oh! Don't think I'm going to be getting a... Oh no, if I look at my delta there, I am looking at a faster lap time. Let's see how well I can do this corner. Tyres are really scrubbing there. Let's get the braking right for this corner, not lose the back end. Bring it round, accelerate. Come on. What kind of a time I'm going to get when I cross the line? In second place, so I've moved up a little bit, I think. Slow around the first corner that time. 53 seconds left before we either go to race or go into overtime if people are still out on track. Daniel looks like he's keeping it very consistent up ahead there. Looking forward to a close-ish race with him, actually. Oh, a bit late on my brakes there. Might have to do something about the back suspension. Or anti-roll bar on the back there. It's a little bit too loose. If you're a really skilled driver, you use that to your advantage. Oh, there we go. I've gone right round. Oh, don't want to crash. Oh, avoided very nicely there by Francesco. In fact, let's jump out of here whilst they're still going round. We've gone into overtime. What I'm going to show you now is another thing I really like about this sim. If I go to monitor, check this out. We can go to the trackside cameras and we can watch Daniel. There we go. We can I'll tell you what we can do. We can watch him from trackside. We can watch him in cinematic cameras. That's him live now. Let's go back to our trackside cameras. Get one that's actually focused on him. That would be useful. We can watch him from there. We can see what it's like from his cockpit or the bonnet. Or we can have a selection of different cameras. Let's watch him from trackside. Right, so it's the end of the race. The AI will have now taken over control of his car. There we go. Qualifying session is over. Guys, we've got a race. We've got a race. So I hope if anyone's watching on YouTube, we can put on a good show for you. Okay. Haven't seen Nemesis in here yet, sadly. Right, so everyone's getting ready. I'm going to just set up my fuel. Let's see. We're doing, what, 2 minutes around here. So for 15 minutes, 7 laps should be enough. I've got 10 laps of fuel, so that's fine. Everyone's saying that they're ready to go. I'm going to hit my ready button. And we're racing, so let's turn off the HUD. Here we go. Live at Snetterton. We're green. Got a good start there. Coming up on Daniel's outside. See if we can make it around the first corner. Yes, we've done it. Daniel having a little bit of a wobble there. We're close on his back end. Oh! And we've got someone right up our jacksie there. They're going for the inside. Oh, what a dive! Oh, dearie me! Okay. Come on, guys. Sort it out. It's only the second corner. That's what happens if you... I think that was Mofo. That's what happens if you dive down the inside. You're going to just cause a crash. And who's that? That's that's Mofo having a little bit of a coming together with E Noons there. How that happened on a straight, I don't know. Well, that's scuppered me quite a bit, that second corner dive. I'm now down into 4th position, and the car's feeling a bit odd, so I think I've picked up some damage. It's not feeling, yeah, the steering's feeling a little bit loose now. So I've got full damage turned on, which means that you can damage steering arms, your engine, aerodynamics can come off. And you can see that as well on the cars. Oh, E-Noons has just gone very wide there, cut the track completely. I've got a warning for that, but he hasn't gained a place, so he won't. Oh, I've gone wide at the bomb hole. Yeah, this is one thing I really like about the penalty system. Now, penalty systems I think are quite hard to implicate in racing sims because you haven't got live marshals, and obviously the best thing you can have at a track to make sure people are behaving are live marshals, you know, real human beings posted around the track watching what's going on, so they can see if there's an accident, who's caused it, who is at fault, you know, or if who's cut a corner. There are some sims where if you cut the track it just tells you to slow down. In the middle of a race, you're supposed to just slow right down to 20 miles an hour. Assetto Corsa does that. Another sim that I love, but I don't like that about it. You've got to slow down to 21 miles an hour whilst you're... That's just dangerous. That's just going to cause more accidents, because if you suddenly slow down, other cars aren't expecting you to do that, and they'll go ploughing to the back of you. In this sim, if you cut the corner too many times, you'll get a drive-through, which is how it should be, really. Going wide there, matey, in the yellow, Mr. Noons. And if you cut a corner and it gives you an advantage, you actually gain a place, you overtake someone through cutting a corner, it tells you to get back to your position. So all you have to do is let that car that you've overtaken catch up and overtake you, and you give them the place back. Then you can carry on racing. I like that. I really like that. That's a really good way of doing the penalty system. Anyway, we are currently 2nd out of 5, so out of the 7, 2 people have already retired. Probably the people that were crashing out on that first lap there, I should imagine. But Daniel, I think, is way out in front. I can't see him. Someone called Dirty Work has just joined the session. Now, obviously, they can't join the race, so what they might have done is joined as a spectator. So, in Automobilista 2, if you want to join a session, you like the look of the session, you like the look of what's going on in there, you can join it even whilst there's a race going on, but the game will give you the option to join as a spectator. So, whilst you're waiting to start, you know, if you like the look of a session but they're in a race and they've got 3 laps to go, you can join the session whilst they're racing as a spectator and watch the race, as we just did earlier, from the trackside cameras or whatever, until the race finishes and it goes back to qualifying, so you can then jump in and be part of it. Really, really like that. Really like that, I do. So, Daniel, nowhere to be seen. We are obviously well behind him. For anyone that's just joined or who is watching on YouTube, This is a single make race, so it's GT4s, but it's just the GT4 McLaren, just so we're all on the same page. If anyone wants to chat about Automobilista 2, what they like about it, what they don't like about it, what they think's brilliant, what they think could be improved, say hello on YouTube. I've got my little YouTube window here, so I can see you if you chat. Although I am sort of driving at the same time, so if I'm overtaking or I'm on a corner that I've got to concentrate on, I won't answer until I'm at somewhere where it's a bit easier to avert my eyes from the, or refocus my eyes from the driving. So if I'm on a straight or something like that. Oh, try and get this corner right. Bit of lift off, power back on, brakes for the apex, off the brakes, let the back end come round, down at second gear and plant it for the main straight. Amazing to think that I'm racing on a virtual racetrack which actually exists about 40-50 miles up the road from me. Oh, I'm well slow around the corner there. Oh! I went to change my HUD there, took my mind off my driving and lost it on the outside. Slowest part of the track. Down to about 45 miles an hour for that corner there. Eight minutes to go. Oh, some tyre marks there. I think that was from when Noons and Mofo came together. Had a coming together on the first lap. That was something else, that was. Five of us still racing, so there are 15 garage spots available. You can have up to about 30 cars on track, but I've limited the drivers that can join to 15, just so, you know, because I'm streaming at the same time, I want to make sure I've got enough bandwidth to run the server. And obviously the more clients you have on the server, the more bandwidth it takes up, so I need to, I've got that limited, but 15 is definitely enough to have a good race. You can have a bloody good race with just one other person if they're the right person and you're well matched. Front end of this car, since that knock I had earlier, it's still feeling a bit wobbly. So let's get our miles an hour counter up here, because I've got my kilometres per hour on my dash, but on my right there we're at 130. How fast can I take the corner? Oh! Coming in at 98 miles per hour, going round it at 90. Quite happy with that. I really want to hit 100 round there. But I'm not Jason Plato. And also, of course, in a sim, you've got your force feedback from the wheel. You've got your visuals, you've got your audio. These are all things that you'd be taking notice of driving in real life. But of course in real life you've also got, you know, the seat of the pants feeling. You can actually feel physically what's happening with the car. I haven't got any of that. So it's slightly, you know, harder, I'd say, to drive in the real car. But the advantage is you will take bigger chances because of course you haven't got the death factor. Which brings me back to damage. Now, there are a couple of things that really influence the way people drive simulated cars online, and that is competition or rating systems and damage. I bought a set of Corsa Composizioni recently. For those of you sim racers, you'll know what that means, and really impressed with that as well as AMS2. And one thing I'm really impressed by is its excellent multiplayer ranking system, and which grades your driving. It takes up quite a lot of processing power to do it actually. monitors your behaviour on track and gives you a safety rating, a racecraft rating, and these ratings are all things that will stipulate whether or not you can get in a server, whether you're safe enough to drive with other drivers. Because people are thinking about that constantly while they're going around the track, they try not to crash into other cars, which really, it makes them drive more like they were driving real life. They don't take stupid chances as much. And there is a rating system coming for this, which I think is going to really be a good thing for online racing. So that makes people drive more realistically. The other thing is, though, is damage, which a lot of sims lack. Now, that's how people drive, just, you know, whether there are other cars on track or not. So, for instance, if you're in quite a slow car, like one of the COCKPIT cars in this, like a little front-wheel drive, 90 horsepower kind of thing, you're much less likely to crash because the car's not capable of going too fast. If you jump into one of the GT1s, the new GT1s, or say the McLaren F1 road car, you're very likely to crash because that car's incredibly fast and it's easy to just plant your foot and go, and then not brake early enough and go sailing straight into a barrier and crash. But people wouldn't do that if there was a damage system that wouldn't let them do that. And as I said, I think the damage system in this is really coming on, both physically and visually. But I'd like to see, so far you've got in the damage settings, you can have off, you can have visual, performance impacting, or full, which is full damage, you know, visually, so you can see parts coming off the car, and physically, the way it physically affects the car's handling. And it's all great, it's really coming on, but I'd like to see a third setting, or a fourth setting maybe, called realistic, where the severity of, you know, how much damage you get on a crash would really affect the car. You can terminally damage these cars, but you could also, I could drive into that tyre barrier there now, doing 100, and it would really screw up my handling, but it wouldn't break the car completely. In real life it would. And I've had this discussion with a few people that say, well, that won't be coming for a long while. Well, no, it already did. GTR 2 had it. You could set the damage from, I think, off to 100 to 200. And 200 I thought was realistic. You know, you could crash into a wall at 30 miles an hour. And that's it. You know, if you crash into a wall at 30 miles an hour, hit the front corner of the car, that would be your aerodynamics gone, your lights out on your left-hand side, and possibly a wheel broken off. Which is kind of, well, for a wheel broken off, you maybe want sort of 40 or 50 miles an hour at least. That to me is realistic, so I'd like to see an option for that. Now, I know people online sometimes don't drive carefully enough, so it might not be all that popular online to have that kind of damage, although iRacing's got that kind of damage online now. But at least for single players, for me it makes I drive more realistically. Just because a sim's got loads of damage doesn't mean you want to just crash the car all the time and watch it, you know, like you can in BeamNG, which is incredibly fun. But I find it makes you drive more realistically, and you're actually proud of yourself every time you finish a race with your car completely intact. I'd like to see that. Plus, if you do crash, at least you can then, and you've lost the race, you've got the disappointment of that, but you can go back and watch the race on the replay and see a really impressive crash. So that's one thing I'd love. I really am hoping that will happen, because I keep seeing things when a car crashes, bits come off the bodywork and you can actually see all of the innards of the car, and I've crashed and seen steering arms come off. So I know that there's a potential in this engine, in the Madness engine, to do that. I would love to see that really happen. On that note, I really do like the fact that if you have a head-on collision with anything where you hit the front of the car in this sim, and you're driving at night and you've got your headlights on, you can smash your headlights. Which, the only other sim that ever did that, I think, was GTR 2. No other sim does that. I think that's really, really, really little but important thing. Because headlights when you're driving at night are essential. So you don't want to smash them up. And if you smash them up in this, you have to wait till you get back to you have to drive in the dark, wait till you get back to the pits to get them fixed. Nearly lost it on the green stuff there. I really, really love that about this sim. I'm talking of this sim once again. Throughout this video, I will be saying thank you so much, Reza, for all the hard work you've done, especially over Christmas. These guys really, I think they just took off Christmas and Boxing Day. They must have done, because they were straight back on it, bringing us the updates. Update after update as well. Over the Christmas period, they really do work so hard there, and they bring out content and updates faster than a COVID-19 news report hits the headlines these days. Okay, we are finished. Time is at 0. So this should be the end of the race. Congratulations to Daniel Elliard, who has won. Race complete in 126 seconds. Another point that I'd like to see improved about this, by the way, seeing as we're at the end of the race. If you haven't got your HUD up, you don't always know when the race is ended. The lights up at the up at the main straight, the starting lights stay green. There's no flashing lights to tell you, you know. And your man up here in the tower box isn't waving a checkered flag. So you never quite know when the race is complete. So that's if you got your. I've got my HUD on at the moment. If I go to full HUD off, it's just down here, which isn't that obvious. It could do with a more obvious sign to let you know the race is finished. Oh, I think we're catching up with someone. I'm driving really slowly. That is Daniel. Seeing as the race is finished, let's just get up alongside Daniel there. I'm going to flash my lights at him, see if he flashes back. You can't see because, you know, it's not dark, but I am flashing my lights. He's not flashing his back. Well done, Daniel. Beautiful car, this McLaren. Let's there we go, he's just flashed his lights. Did you see that? Flash them again, Daniel, mate. I'll try and flash mine, but you can only see my rear lights flash. Yeah, there he goes, he's flashing his lights. You can see that in the wing mirror there. Right, I'm going to stop here. Well, that's it. Now look, can you see? You can see there the damage on the outside of my car, the scrapes and bumps from that first hit that I got on that first lap. And as you, well, if you saw there, my front splitter has been damaged a bit. So obviously that's what was affecting my handling. Anyway, let's return to the lobby. That's the end of the race. I enjoyed that immensely. And let's type. Nice one, Daniel. And I'll just check my YouTube. See how the stream's going. We've got 2 people watching. Hey, WT Watkins, what's up, mate? How you doing? Come and join us. Daniel Elliard in the game says he really enjoyed that. As did I, mate. As did I. As did I, mate. Pleasure to race with you. So Daniel's got to go, but we've still got 3 people in here. So let's change to another GT4. Let's change to Camaros. Or let's change to... Yeah, let's change to Camaros. I want a blue one. So we stick with the GT4s. But we're going to go for Camaros now. We've got 4 people in. Let's vote to start. Oh, one's left. What does Blog 73 and LinkTick think? Oh, LinkTick's here. Hello, Link. And we're staying at Snetterton for the time being. I like this. Some people flip between tracks. They'll change track every 5 minutes. You know, I like to stay with one track for a good day. You know, really get to know it. And if you think about it, if you went racing in real life, you'd take one car to one track, you'd be there entire day, have a great time. I like to do that, but, you know, we've got the joy here that we can swap around a bit, but I'm going to stick with the same track at the moment. There we go. Just say, I hope you don't mind I changed the cars. So we've got a good 7 laps of fuel in there. Let's put 10 laps of fuel in so we can get a decent amount of time out on track in the quali session. W.T. Watkins is linked in. He's just typed that on the YouTube. So I'll just say, cool mate, gotcha. Let's just, whilst they're practicing, just quickly check my web browser. So you can see the game at the moment. I'm currently looking at my web browser, because I want to see if anyone's replied to any invites I've sent out. Okie dokie. Right, back to the game. We've got a Paul joined. Oh, no, I don't want to come out of the session. Say hello to Paul. Oh, 2 people have left. Hello, Paul. So this is the Camaro. Now in the Camaro, my centre mirror is way over there. So it's a bit hard for me to see it in single screen view. So what I'm going to do is pull over somewhere. Just here, it's out of everyone's way. Get a warning for crossing the pit line. A sticker in neutral. And let's just quickly adjust our HUD so we can have a virtual mirror. Do love that about this game, it's so easy to do that. So let's turn on our virtual mirror. And now we have a centre mirror that we can see, which is brilliant. That's exactly what we want. Right, let's see what kind of lap time we can get out of the Camaro. This is a car that it's a GT4 car, so it sort of drives, you know, you could say it drives similarly to all of the other GT4 cars, but no, it's quite a different drive. This car is almost, it's not far off 2 tons in weight, this Camaro. For a race car, that's really heavy. I think it's about 1,700 kilogram in weight, this car. And it's very, very torquey, even at low revs. So it is a bit of a boat, but because of that torque, I'll try and show you around this corner. It's also a bit of a sideways monster. Check this out. Oh, should have got that completely wrong. Let's get it in 3rd gear, try it around here. So Scandinavian flick, yeah. And you can... now I've realised, I was going to say you can drift the back end out, but these cars also have some of the traction control and ABS, and I think that's on, so let's have a look. Right, okay, you can see the little, just above my dash there, you can see a white message saying anti-lock brakes. Just turn them off. Traction control was on low, so now I've got that turned off. We should, here's a nice tight corner to try and show you that. There you go, sideways. So yeah, without the traction control on, you can really get the back end out on this thing and do quite a bit of counter steering. So in the McLaren I was racing with the traction control and the ABS on low, and in this car I've just turned all of that off. So let's hope I don't crash the car. Right, now we were getting around 90 miles an hour around this corner in the McLaren. 94 miles, I'm getting around the corner faster in the Camaro than I was with the McLaren, and that's with traction control and ABS turned off. Amazing. I think I'm going to put that down to the weight of this car. I think because it's heavier, up until a point, you've got a bit more grip maybe. So, I wonder if my lap times in general will be as fast. I'm not sure really how the Camaro stacks up against the McLaren in terms of top speed. So of course if the top speed's slightly lower than the McLaren, but it's got an advantage around the corners, then it's actually, that could even out the lap times. For a big heavy car it does feel quite planted, but you can feel that it's heavy. That's conveyed very nicely. And I don't mean that the steering just feels heavier through the force feedback, because actually it's not, the steering doesn't feel a lot heavier than the McLaren. It's just the way the car moves. You can just feel that it's a heavier car, if that makes any sense. And I love that everything in this game feels, you know, so different. Everything, all the different cars, because you've got front wheel drives, you've got rear wheel drives, you've got mid-engine cars in this game, you've got mid-front engine cars, mid-rear engine cars, rear engine cars, front engine cars, four-wheel drive, front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, high power, low power, lots of downforce, no downforce, tin tops, open wheelers, even trucks, the lot. And everything feels really, really individual, whether it's subtle differences or massive, great big differences, you know, like comparing, say, a tractor unit to an F1 car. Huge difference. But also, you know, between the, say, all the GT4 cars, they're all GT4s, but they all feel completely different. I love that. And there are some sims where the driving aspect doesn't really feel all that different between the cars. But R Factor 2 is a really, really good example of how different all of the cars can feel. And this does a similar sort of thing, although with, you know, a general overall slight lack of finesse in the force feedback. But like I said, R Factor 2 does have the fastest force feedback update rate, something like 2000 megahertz out of all of them. I mean, ACC is quite good, but that's below 1000. I don't know what this game is, or this sim is. Oh, I've just taken my mind off my driving there, because I've noticed something on my stream in my YouTube window here. What's it saying? Oh no, it's just reminding me that I typed something. 3 people watching. Hello, you 3 people. Who are you? Right, let's resume. Oh, I love that. I've never noticed that before. The car's bonging. It's doing that thing that American cars do. They bong. Bong, bong, bong when your seatbelt's off. I'm not sure what it's doing, but that's very authentic. I don't know if you heard that on the stream there. Right. Oh. I'm in first. 2 minutes 2. I'm doing so very similar lap times in this that I was doing in the McLaren, but totally different drive. Let's try and better that. Another thing I'm really liking in this sim, the AI are getting better and better with every update. They really are. They're much better when they're behind you now. When they were behind you, they used to just sort of give up. They don't do that as much now. Although they still lack, say, the aggression of, say, one of the sims that I find best for AI when they're behind you and trying to attack you and get past is R-Factor 2. I keep mentioning that. ACC's got some amazing AI as well. The AI in this, when you're beside them, they put up a damn good challenge now. They do not crash into the back of you anymore, which they were doing, which is a problem that a lot of sims have. They've ironed that out completely. And they're much better when they're behind you, although I must say on the straights, they will get up behind you, and if you then slow down, they get a bit confused about moving out and getting up in front of you. But they're much better on blue flag behaviour. For instance, you can have a good AI race with multi-class racing between each other. Let's say if R-Factor 2 is terrible for multi-class racing if you're offline, because you'll get a much faster car, say a GT car, lapping an LMP1 car. And it's fine when they're on the first lap together and they overtake it, but when they get onto the second lap, they just kind of stay behind it, even though, you know, the GT car will stay behind the LMP1. So in this, that doesn't happen much better. We've got another driver. I do like the UIs in this as well. The user interface is pretty good, pretty simple to understand. I love the HUD editor. I can literally all of these widgets. So from my tyres and brake temperatures down there. If you want to race with all of that stuff on, if you don't, you can turn all of that off and literally just have the cockpit, which is of course the view you want in VR. Or you can turn them back on again, but you can move where everything is. It's brilliant. Talking of VR, this game runs superbly in VR. And I'd say actually, if say you really don't like this game, it's just not your cup of tea, fair enough, but there's one thing that you cannot deny about this game. It is so pretty. Oh, I came way off track there, put 4 wheels over the grass and got a lap time invalidated there. In qualifying, the sim is very strict on you staying within the lines of the track. It's good that. But yeah, it is one of the prettiest games graphically I've ever played. I mean, I know Project Cars 3 was very pretty, but this is that plus the physics are decent. And in VR, oh, this is an absolute joy, especially with the weather effects. This game does have weather. We're racing in clear conditions now because I've set the game to do that, but you can have the weather set to pretty much anything you like. You know, foggy, raining, dry, thunderstorm. It's amazing. Right. Oh, this car a bit more understeery on high-speed corners, like this one. Long high-speed corners. Then, before we get into that tight left-hander there, than the McLaren, I will say. bit slower around that first corner there, but getting all of the inside and outside curves. A little bit too much of the outside curve. Let's see how the brakes are here. Well, we've got around that corner all right as well. We're up on our delta, which is that little green number beneath my virtual centre mirror there. So hopefully a faster lap time with 5 minutes to go of practice, of qualifying rather. Oh, and a little bit sideways under braking into that corner. I've done that a few times at that particular corner here. Could use a little bit more of the outside curbing there. I think we're still up on our last lap time. Right. Oh, there's that understeer. Can we overpower it with a bit of dab the brakes and then put the power on to try and bring the back end around, but not quite done it. Ah, Philip Moynet, sorry, has just said hello. I'm reading your comments over here and I'm saying hello in the camera over here. What was that lap time? No, we've not improved on the last lap time. I'll blame you for that, Philip. I was reading your words, how dare you. Philip says he just wants to say hello. Doesn't speak usually in English. It doesn't speak a word in English, so he's just using Google Translate. But he says this game is just fantastic. Agreed. Yes. Yes. I don't know if he can understand me, but yes, this game is fantastic. Philip Moynet. You can't understand English, but I think that's the universal sign there. Thumbs up for yes, I agree, mate. Oh, you really can feel that 1 3/4 tons of American weight there on this car. Ah, thank you, says Philip. Thank you, mate. Yeah, I mean, yeah, overall, as a sim, you know, for all of its aspects, the force feedback, the UI, the way the championship is shaping up, the game modes, the way it drives, the sound, the graphics, the damage effects. As a complete sim, I'm really enjoying this. It's AMS2 is reminding me of what GTR2 used to be. GTR2 was another sim which was, you know, as a complete sim, the element of it, it was so complete. You know, you had everything. You had great damage, you had great graphics, you had great physics, you had a great career or championship, single player, multiplayer, sound wise it was great, you know. So this is shaping up to be that, and of course it's still being improved and still being developed, and I love it. And like I said earlier, you know, there may be those you know, there are some terrible arguments that start on the server. You know, you say stuff like on forums in sim racing, and people say, you know, that they really love a sim, and then they go, Other people get offended. How could you say that this sim is much better? This sim's got better this or that. This is not a this sim or that sim. I love this. I love R Factor 2. I love Assetto Corsa for all of its good and bad points. I love it more for the good points than I do for the bad points. Same goes for ACC. Same goes for LFS, which has been around now for, is it 15, 20 years? Still going, still being updated. R Factor 1 by ISI, or R Factor, the original R Factor from ISI. I'm sure even, right, the thorn in all sim races side, Project Cars 3 is great if you just want an arcade racer that you can lay down on your bed when you can't be bothered and play with a gamepad. I'm sure it's great for that. Because I tell you what, I could do with a racing game which is a bit like that, because sometimes I'm just too tired to race properly. And sitting in a seat, you know, with a force feedback steering wheel, the gears and everything else, can be really tiring. Really tiring. Sometimes, you know, a sim is not the most enjoyable thing to get into, because of course it is simulating quite a stressful environment. Doing hundreds of miles an hour in a race car is not relaxing. So that's what those are good for. But, you know, when it comes to pure sim, I love all that as well, when I'm not too tired to do it. Oh, so there's 3 of us for the race. We've all got blue cars. Philip says NFS, Need for Speed. Yeah, Need for Speed. Christ, I don't think I've only played that once in my life. I've just bought my brother on his Nintendo Wii. I bought him Driver, if you remember the old Driver games. I couldn't believe that I found an old copy of that, I think the last one in existence, for sale on Amazon. I got that for him for Christmas. He was well chuffed. He loves that game. I used to love that game. Right, there's only 3 of us for this race. I'm going to start it. Maybe people won't stay. I don't know. But I think after this, I'm going to... I don't know if there's many people online at the moment during the day. Oh, we're starting. So what I'll do is leave this server and go and have a look at someone else's. So, we are right beside A-Fame, I think it is, his name. We're right on the outside, got to be careful. There he goes in front of us there. We've got Link is behind us. Oh, cold brakes. Another thing this sim does very well is emulating cold brakes and tyres. It does take a while for those brakes to warm up. As you can see from my readout at the bottom there, they're only at around 300 or 320 at the moment. We need to get those warmed up. You can see them warming up there in the brake widget to around nearly 500. But let's get rid of all that stuff because I just want to concentrate on my driving. So try and cut the inside of the corner, use all of the outside. Try and catch a Fame. Link keeping up well in the mirrors there. Link looks quite far away, but these mirrors tend to make cars look a lot further away than they are, because actually... Oh, I've got a big spoiler in the way. So you can't see him, but he's much closer than what the mirrors are showing. I'll try and do that look behind at a more opportune moment. So there he is. He's that close behind us. And looks much further away in the mirrors. Some people have been complaining that the AI still drop back very much. As you can see, even when I'm racing real people, they appear much further away than they are. So sometimes that's just a mirror effect. And we are catching a Fame. Oh, putting on a little bit too much power on the back end, getting too enthusiastic about catching a Fame there. Whilst I'm racing around, I know he can't comment because I don't think he has a YouTube account, but he does watch all my videos on YouTube. Hello, Stuart Horsley, if you're out there. Well, he's actually just up the road. He lives in the same village as me, so he's up the road in his house. So if you're watching on YouTube, hello, mate. Hope you're enjoying it. And a shout out to Pete Stern as well, who runs my server in Cambridge. And also, and I did say to her that I'd do this, and I was talking about girl races earlier, which we want to see more of. Oh, A-Fame slowed right down there. Why has that happened? I wasn't paying attention. Did he have a problem? Or was he just bored that there was no one in front of him and he wants someone to overtake? So, well, oh! Whew, bit sideways there. That was a mixture of hitting the brakes and then throttle straight after. Yeah, I want to say a shout out to Kay over in Singapore if you're watching, mate. She watches my videos and she loves the racing games. In fact, she told me that over Christmas in Singapore, I mean, they've got rules over there as well with this COVID-19 thing, but they can go out. So they went over to their mate's house, I think, and he has a full sim set up with the steering wheel, cockpit, pedals and chair, and he got that out, and her, and I think her fella and him all had a racing session. She told me that they got a little bit upset because when she got in it, she wiped the floor with them. So here's to you, Kate. Happy New Year's, and cheers for the kimchi. You know what kimchi is? It's fermented cabbage from Korea. Well, it's more than that, but it doesn't sound very nice, but it is bloody awesome in a stir fry. Philip Montes just said he also plays R Factor 2, ACC, and more. Started with R Factor 1 and Race 07. So did I, mate. I never had Race 07, but I did have a go on it. And I had R Factor 2. In fact, I've still got it on this hard drive. R Factor 1, sorry. And as I've been talking, I've completely lost concentration. Hang on a minute, has someone dropped out? No, there's still three of us. But it's actually linked to us behind me now. A-Fame has dropped right behind. What happened to him? Wasn't looking in my mirrors, haven't been paying attention to what's been going on track. A-Fame is way behind. 4.2 seconds behind. Well, he's getting closer. He's getting closer quickly now, 3.9. Happy New Year to you too, Philip. Linked is really catching me now. I'm going to try and concentrate. So I'm going to use that. Right. So to conquer that understeer, I've got to use the brakes and then hit the throttle, which is something I've found in a lot of the simulated American muscle cars that I've ever driven. Shelby Mustangs are very much like that. They handle like boats, and the only way, but you can have big slides in them. The only way you can do that is by approaching the corner, then hitting the brakes to get all the way over the front, and then hitting the power, because of course they're all really torquey. Then you can get the back end out with maybe the help of a little bit of a Scandinavian flick as well. This car is definitely handling like a big heavy American muscle car, and a Camaro obviously is a bit of a muscle car. The Shelby Mustang that I used to drive in the amazing historic touring cars mod for R Factor 1. God, I wish that those guys were still doing their work. Oh my god! We have got linked right on our back bumper now. Literally right on our back bumper. He looks further away in the mirrors than he actually is. And I've just given him a big opportunity to overtake. And there he goes. He's gone through. Whilst I've been chatting, he's taking advantage of my lack of concentration to try and stay in his slipstream, and the weather is changing. You can see the shadows of the clouds on the track now. We're halfway through the race. And the sky's gone quite dark. Oh, locking up slightly. You can see the light and dark patches on the road where the sunshine is being obscured by the clouds. Another great thing that I love about this sim is the lighting. It is just fantastic, especially with the crepuscular rays. And the fact that you can either have them on or turn them off if your graphics card isn't up to it is a real nod from some people with lower... You know, this game's very accessible, whether you've got a low power graphics card or high. You can customize it. I'm really getting into this now. Link has gone wide. We've got a little bit of oversteer under braking. Although he's maintained the speed as he's going wide. He's on our inside there. As we come up to this long left, he's still on our inside. He's still there. He's still there. We're both braking hard for this tight left-hander. This is close stuff. This is really getting good. If anyone's commenting on the YouTube at the moment, I can't see it. I'm not looking. I am just concentrating on Link's back end here. I'm having a great race with him. Right, can I get his slipstream? Can I stay with him and get in the slipstream for the main straight? This is where the aerodynamics will really come into effect at high speed. And now starting to gain, but I've got to slow down again for this corner. I'm just sort of catching as we come up to the bomb hole. Keep as much speed on as possible. He had a bit of a wobble, I had a little bit of a wobble. And, oh, there he goes, he's gone wide. Can we make it through on the inside? Yes! We've done it, we've made it through. But he is still close behind us. So Philip, and now I'm on a straight, I can look, Philip's saying, nice, tight race, yes mate. From Harry doesn't speak any English, you are certainly typing it bloody well, I can tell you that, mate. Oh! Nearly losing it there, and Link's taking advantage of that, he's come through on the outside! Can I defend from the inside? He's overtaking on the outside! I'm giving him room, but he's still there. We are neck and neck! Earlier on I was saying there's only 3 people in this server, only 2 people in the same vicinity on the track at the moment. I was saying that you can have a great race with just one other person if it's the right person. Well, Link is obviously the right person as he comes. He's got the nose on me on the outside, but he's gone a bit wide. And I've gone wide on this corner. He's coming back at me. This is side by side, neck and neck stuff. But he's dropped back now. And he's still there, right in my back bumper, although it looks further away in the mirrors. Not looking so far away in the real mirror there, as opposed to the virtual mirror. As we come down to the tight right hand down the bomb hole. Will he come back at me? No, I've just got the legs on him as we come out. Through the bomb hole. Right. Down the brakes, hit the back end to come around, hit the power again. And that back end does come around a bit, getting nicely rotated around that long corner there. And we're away. Got all the curb on the inside. Just hitting the curbs on the outside. Very pleased with that corner. Very hard not to keep your foot on the brake, because you're braking hard for that corner and then lock up that very slow corner there. Power out of this corner. Getting further away from Link with 2 minutes to go. And it is just me and Linked. So our other sim racer has left the race, he's retired, it's just me and Linked. But I don't care, because this is damn close racing. He's getting closer again. Philippe's typing something, I can't quite see it. Wait till I get on the straight so I can concentrate and avert my eyes. Philip Monte says the tyre model is better in better. Sorry for my English. Oh, you meant better and better? Yes, mate, it so is. With every update. And Link's got him a slipstream there and has made some ground on me. All you need for a decent race, just 2 people. Me and you. Or possibly, you know, you and someone else who's faster than me. But me and Link seem to be pretty well matched here. This is what we play racing sims for. This is what you'd want to go real racing for. And the few times I've done it in karts, oh, it's just such a feeling when you have a good close race. 30 seconds of the race to go. So the time will run out on this last lap. So we should be crossing the line one more time and that will be the end of the race. And what a race it's been so far, but we're not quite at the end yet. Anything could happen. He's still there in the mirrors. And I thought we were at risk of a bit of rain there as the sky went dark, but it's just gone to, you know, quite cloudly, so we've avoided the rain. Temperature may have dropped a bit, affecting the grip. It's one thing you can't feel physically on your skin, but in some of these sims, they're so accurate. The temperature of the air will affect the temperature of the track, affecting the temperature of the tyres, as it would in real life. It's amazing. The more and more realistic the sims get, the more similar they're all becoming as well. There's one that's... Oh! I told you anything could happen. Link is... Oh! Oh, Link, mate! Oh! I got a tap from the back end of Linked. But he didn't mean it. He knew he'd done it, though, because he slowed down for me. On the last lap, like I said, anything could happen. Nearly lost control of the car completely there. And I've gone wide! I've gone wide! Is Link going to take advantage of it? Yes, he is! On the last lap! He's going to cross the line in front of me! Oh my god! Ha ha! Would you Adam and Eve it? Look at that! Ha ha! And look how close we were in terms of lap time. He was doing at best a 2:00.116 and I was doing 2:00.277. How close can you get? That was amazing. Let's return to the lobby and talk to him. Philip Monte says great. Yes, it was, mate. I've just got to... Oh. Link, that was amazing, mate. I'm typing to him. And in case you don't know, it's all on YouTube, mate. He's apologising for hitting me. So I'm saying thanks. I know. Yeah, I didn't mean to. Oh, that was absolutely fantastic. That really was. How long have we been streaming now? Nearly 2 hours exactly. Oh, we got 5 people watching. Hello, 5 people. First time racing this track, he says. I'm just going to tell him it's my home county track here in Norfolk, UK. I don't usually say what I'm typing. I'm just doing that for the benefits of you watching on YouTube, if you are watching on YouTube. I'm going to do that again. I'm really enjoying this car, really enjoying racing at my home track. If Linked leaves, then I shall end the stream here. If people join, if he doesn't leave and people join, I shall keep it going in the hope that for some strange reason loads of people join and we have a race with the full 15 grid of cars. That would be cool. But yeah, it's great when you have a race like that in any sim, you know. That's I've always said this about sim racing. The cars and the track aren't real. They are real because, I mean, they only exist in the virtual world, but the virtual world is also kind of real. It does exist, these cars and this track, in the computer. But one thing that's certainly real is the racing. The racing's always real. That was real racing, and I really enjoyed that. Where Linked is saying that he lives in the US. So I will tell him that I live in Norfolk, UK. And have... No, I don't want to kick anyone. That's another little bug that's happening. Oh, we have got someone joined. Let's say hello to them. Hello, Zika. Zika Pavlovic. Maybe it's Polish. I don't know. That it sounds like an Eastern European name. So if he's joined from watching on the stream, if you've been watching on the stream, if I was drinking, I would say Nostrovia. But I don't have a glass in my hand. So he must be in the lobby because he's not come into the game yet. So it looks like we might be on for one last race. Is he still... Oh, there goes... who is that? That's Linked in front of us there. Oh, the sound of this thing is so satisfying. Big gurgly American muscle car sound. Love it. Oh, I really, really enjoy this car. You certainly know the difference between gripping and overdriving this car. I can definitely say that. But the weight of it, the way it can, this sim conveys the feeling of the weight of the damn thing. It's just great. Oh, missing the apex there. Missing the outside curb as well. I'm really not getting that corner right. Getting that one right though. And Let's see now. Oh, missing the apex, going well wide on the outside there. How embarrassing. And how late do I dare leave the braking? Oh, very happy with that. And into the bomb hole. Pronounce that slightly wrong and you get bum hole. Use that back end to steer the car around. It's a real dance between the brake and the accelerator around that corner. One thing, this is such a big car, but the steering wheel in this GT version of it is tiny. Oh, really pleased with that. Even though we're touching the grass ever slightly on the outside, very pleased with that corner. Let's bring it in. Nice and tight. Right up to the sausage curb, but not on it. Those sausage curbs, some of them are so big at certain tracks like Nuremberg as well. The GT or GP, like, oh, I've gone wide. You can get the car up on two wheels over them. It's just great. And I've cut the track, mercilessly cut the track there, so I've been told off by the race director, who's invalidated my lap time. That's a pity, because that was shaping up to be quite good until I lost it completely. Oh! Nearly got the inside apex, got all the curb on the outside of that corner there, happy with that. Did this corner rather well last time, not too bad this time. For me, I mean. And much better exit out of there as well, this time round. Let's get me all my widgets up so I can see me timing. No one's got a lap time yet. Looks like Link's going to be the first one to get one, because of course this lap for me I won't get a time on it because it'll be invalidated. That is one thing, another thing that I really love about this sim. If your lap time gets invalidated, one thing I really like is the counter still keeps counting. It just goes into the red. The graphic of your lap time, it still counts your lap time, so you can still see what your time would have been, which is really good. Because you want to know what the time would have been, so you can potentially do that time again, but without the mistake. On some sims, you go over track limits and it stops counting. So in this, it just invalidates your lap time, so you don't get that lap time as a valid lap, but you can still see what it would have been. Not so pleased with the way I've taken that corner this time around. Oh, hard on the brakes. Very pleased with that corner. Squeeze on the power. Out we go. And on the brakes. And back on the accelerator. Oh, yes! Chuffed with that corner, and we're up on our delta from the previous lap. Link has posted a lap time of 2. Oh, I've got mucked up that corner a bit. Oh, maybe not too bad. Link's posted a 2 minutes 3:79 on the brakes, off the brakes, on the power. Pleased with that one. Let's get it right here. Could have come in a bit tighter there. What can we do with this one? Dabbing the brakes to rotate the car. On the accelerator for the exit. Out on the green stuff. Textbook. Happy with that. Link has gone back to the pits. And braking now. Nice and smooth. Smoothness is the key. If it's smooth and it looks slow, then it's probably fast. As they say on Top Gear. Well, I don't know if they still do, because I don't watch it all that much now. The three musketeers have left, Clarkson, Hammond and May. Do watch it occasionally now with the new guys, but I haven't seen it as much. But they did used to say that, you know, looking slow looks fast, and I've just invalidated my lap time again. God, what a shambles. Cornering at 92 miles per hour. And the first bend going wide. I am the lap invalidator. I'm the validator. The invalidator. Oh, I'm all over the shop now. I should have done this stream in the evening. Would have had a full server then. But this is the point in the day where I've got time to do it, because my brother is teaching jazz piano lessons from the room next door, and he's going to start soon. So I thought I'd do this stream, you know, because I'm talking quite loudly. I don't want to interrupt this lesson, so I thought I'd do it now today. But I'm pleased with the race that I've had with Link so far. That was amazing. Philip Moynet says he has to go. Good luck and have fun. Salutations. Thanks for watching, mate. Right, this time I'm going to get a lap time and not invalidate it. Concentrate. 90 miles an hour. And that first corner. Hard on the brakes. And off the brake. Bring it round. Weight shifting. Oh, I love that feeling. On the brakes. Bring the weight to the front of the car. Then on the accelerator. Bring that back end round. You really have to throw these big American cars around. It's fantastic. Just set a best sector one time. Oh, nearly screwed it up there. On the tight left-hander. Can we get this one right? It's a tricky one, that, but not too shabby around there. Nice and tight to the inside. And the tight right-hander right. Dab on the brakes, bring the front end weight on, accelerate out, bring the back end round and down the straight. We're up on our delta. And braking now. Try and keep it smooth, try and keep it smooth. Don't get distracted by steam pop-ups through the bomb hole. On the power, back end shifting around a bit, dab the brakes, bring the back end round, hit the accelerator, try and bring it around even further, but no, we're a bit too late with that. Understeering a little bit, on the brakes hard, careful with the acceleration, we're on the exit, up the main straight, looking good, and across the line, and we've got a 159.221. Whew! Happy with that lap time. Best lap time I've done so far today. No one behind us, but let's get up the track just in case someone turns up and it goes slamming into the back of us. Whew! So let's go to our monitor, and that's Pavlovic, who's stopped out on track there. I don't know why he's stopped at the moment. Oh, here he comes. He's on the move, warming up his tyres by the looks of it. And his car has gone transparent. Now what that means, if you don't know Automobilista 2 is that on your outlap, your car is non-collidable, so it goes transparent. Not really sure that I like that. I'd like the cars, if the car's on track, it's either there or it's not. So there's one feature I'm not keen on. I'm sure there's instances which could be useful. Just seen from my Steam account that Nemesis 69 is now playing Automobilista 2, so maybe he'll pop in and say hello in the server. Now, watching for the trackside cameras at some tracks can be a bit hazardous, because sometimes the camera just goes and focuses on something completely irrelevant, like a tree, as it did there, but they're doing a lot of work to make the cameras better. Talking to the cameras, check this out. Excuse me, don't worry, I haven't got COVID. This is cinematic chase cam, or cinematic cam, this is brilliant, look at this. So I'm watching this guy, Pavlovic, live now, and I can watch his car from these cameras, or the normal trackside cameras. But isn't that great? That's like a drone or a helicopter following his car. It really is quite sort of, you know, movie-esque. And of course, you know, we've got we can... Oh! Oh, and he's spun! He's come off there. And there is Link going past as well. He's out on track. In the background. He's decided to teleport back to the pits. Let's have a look at Linked. And let's get rid of the interface. Oh, it's not letting us do that. Well, we have to keep that on. We'll watch Link go round. If we want, we can have a look and see what it's like from Link's cockpit camera there, or from his roof. How's he doing around this corner? Nicely done there. Let's go back to the... Oh, slightly on the grass. Oh, yes! Linked. Bit sideways coming out there. Now, when you're gaming online, the car won't move quite as realistically as it would if you're offline, if you're watching it. Will to the driver who's... Oh! Got someone joined us. Will to the driver who's driving it, but that's to do with ping. I'm not going to go into that, but that's an online gaming thing. Ping. Most of you watching will know exactly what I mean by that. So who's T69? Oh, nice paint job, T69. So let's say hello to... it's the Nemesis! The Nemesis is here! Say hello to Nemesis. It is the Nemesis. T69 is the Nemesis. And there he is. There he is, out on track. So it looks like we're going to have another race, and there's going to be 4 of us in it unless someone else joins. Having a little bit of a moment there, passing a ghosted car. And onto the long straight. And behind him there is that Linked, or I forget what colour car Linked was driving now. It's Palovic. Here comes Linked. And shortly behind him, there's Palovic. Oh, munching the curb there. Fast through the bomb hole was Nemesis, and a little bit slower was Pavlovic. Where's Linked? Is he out on track? Linked is out on track. There's that static camera again. And across the line he comes. He's not got a lap time yet. So that was just his out lap. So this will now be his timed lap. Let's watch him on his timed lap. Bit wide there, bit wide. But who am I to criticise? Oh, what's happened to my trackside camera here? Trackside camera's needing a little bit of work for Snetterton. Now Nemesis is pretty fast, so interested to see what kind of a lap time he produces. Now you'll notice there, we're using the trackside cameras, you can see that the wheels on that car are cambered. There's a problem in the game that when you play a replay, the wheels, they won't show any camber. But you can see from watching the live cameras here that the camber on the wheels is properly shown, just not in the replay. So this is something most of us are hoping that they will fix. Because obviously it looks really weird to watch race cars going around with cambers, you know, like that. The race cars usually having them like that. But nice to see that's actually working when you watch the car from in-game. And Linked has set a time of 2 minutes 3:79. Qualifying is complete. It's now gone into overdrive. So until Linked comes back to the pits, it's going to wait for him. With Link still out there. Nemesis says the car's tough to drive. I've got to say, Nemesis, I love it. I really do. It's so weighty. You know, you can totally rely on the grip up until a point. You really know when it's gripping, and you really know when it's over the edge of grip. Because it's so weighty, there's that grip goes, when it goes, it's sort of, as long as you're on a dry track, it sort of goes, you know when it's going, but it goes reasonably slowly. And what I'm finding is to get this car to rotate, you know, around a corner, mid-corner, you've got to hit the brakes first, then put the power on. It really does drive like most muscle cars that I've driven in Sims. One day I'll get to drive one in real life, you know, a big Mustang or a Camaro. My brother's driven a couple over in the States. My brother's not in the States, he's actually next door, but when he's been out to the States, he's driven a couple. Right, here we go. Race time. Will we have as close a race? Oh, Nemesis, you have wiped the floor. You have wiped the floor with me. Look at that time that he's posted, a 1:56.703. And he comes back and says these cars are hard to drive. Not for you, mate. Blimmin' heck. Right. I'm ready to go. Ready to go. Ready to go. Okay. There's people coming in and out of the room here. Right. We are waiting for Pavlovic and Nemesis to hit their start buttons. They must be adjusting their setups for the race, I should imagine, before they hit ready. We've got 1 minute 18 seconds to go before the race starts, unless they both hit their ready buttons, which Nemesis has. He's ready. So, Paladin's hit, and we're go. Here we go. Quite a bit of wheel spin off the line. Getting neck and neck with Nemesis on the outside. Oh! I was wary of losing it around the outside there, so he's definitely... Oh, and he's gone wide at the first corner, which has left the door open for us. Right, powering it round. And we're out in front. Oh! Back end wanting to break loose there. 3 cars behind me. Pretty sure with Nemesis on track I won't be keeping it like that for very much longer. Using all of the curve there, but Nemesis I think is creeping up behind me in my slipstream there. Gotta be careful on the brakes through here. Not exactly tidy through there, gone wide, hit the grass. Nemesis gone around on the inside, as has gone very wide. Linked is taking it as well. And Pavlovic is also having a look down my inside there. Now the outside. He's ended up on the grass. Told you it wouldn't last long. Back end coming out a bit too much under hard braking for the corner there, lost me a bit of time, but I'm still with them. I use that power to push the back end round. Oh! This is what happens when you get too concerned with trying to catch up and you forget about being cautious, and I've lost all the places now. Look at that. Now I've got to really try and concentrate and work hard to catch up. Like I said near the start of this stream, I'm easy to beat, and Pavlovic having a problem there. Can we make it round on the outside? Yes, we can! And now he can use my slipstream to gain off of me. Let's try and keep it smooth through here, not like the first lap. Oh! He says keep it smooth and then gets a tyre on the sausage curve there, a bit too close. Right. Down the brakes, then hit the power. And balance the car, constantly swapping between. I think this car would very much benefit from a bit of left foot braking, which I'm not doing at the moment. I did at one point learn to use that, but I had to stop using my left foot because the job I was doing at the time required a lot of pressure on one of my legs, and the left knee was under a lot of pressure, so using left foot braking as well in the evening as well. Simracing, damn it, very wide, was not helping, so I stopped and I haven't gone back to it. I've finished that job now, so I might try and start doing that again, especially if I'm driving this car. Need to relearn the muscle memory in my left foot, going very wide there. There's Nemesis, or up in the distance there. on, use the inside curb, use the outside curb, use all of it. Yes, pleased with that. Oh! Alright, tight to the inside, hit the power. Oh no! That is not the point where you want to lose speed. You want to have as much speed out of that corner for this main straight as possible to maximise your top speed at the end. Not pleased with myself there. But I'm happy with that corner. That went a lot better than the last 2 laps. Try and use all the inside curbing on the bomb hole there. Yes, happy with that. Oh, back end really coming out there. Under power. And I can't see Pavlovic in my mirrors at all anymore. Is he still here? And he's still in the race. Hard on the brakes and then just come off them a touch, but not early enough, else that happens. My job driving there as sloppy as a wet blancmange. And I'm not going to lie, I am very much losing my rhythm. It's because I'm conscious of the fact that teaching has just commenced in the room next door. So I'm aware that I need to be not quite so loud, and I'll have to end this very soon, very shortly. But it's been a fun, what, 2.5 hours now? But still got just less than half of the race to go. I'm not thinking I'm going to catch up though, because I know both Linked and Nemesis are 2 pretty consistent drivers, and I am quite the distance behind them. In fact, yeah, quite a long way behind them there. Right, come off the brakes. I want to make that back end rotate like I did last time. Better this time. Dab on the brakes, bring the weight to the front end, dance between the brake and the accelerator. There's, yeah, just saw either Linked or Nemesis there, going in the opposite direction on the other side of the racetrack there. One of them now coming down the main back straight there, on his way to Norwich. Oh, it was weird to see the that name tag going in completely the wrong direction for the track. I don't know what that was all about. Just saw one of them up in the distance there. Right, nice and smooth around here. Oh yeah, that back end really coming. Just found the right part of the rev range to get that back end out. Oh, and too late on the brakes, brought the back end around, but caught it, so it's okay. Less than 4 minutes left now, and we're catching up. We are actually catching up. Off sideways. What can possibly happen in the last 3 minutes and 40 seconds of this race? We shall find out. Could have done with a down change there. Oh, totally ruined the exit. Touching that sausage curve, just touching the edge of the sausage curve is enough to give your car a nasty bump. Hit it full on and you end up on two wheels. So let's lift off a little bit, back on with the power. Oh, on the marbles on the outside. There is the blue car, up there we are. About the same distance behind it still. Just under 2 minutes to go. That's certainly the best I've taken that particular corner so far. Down to second gear. Not ruining the exit of that corner quite as badly as I have done the last several laps. Definitely catching the blue car in front though. Once again, I've just clipped that sausage curb. Hear the car ground out that metallic clacky slam as we came back down there. One thing I really do like, another thing I like about this sim is when you hear the car ground out, you can really hear it ground out and you do feel the lack of speed, and I'm not concentrating and I've lost the back end. Oh no! Oh, someone's in the pit there. That's Pavlovic is in the pits, and that looked like someone. That was someone who's just gone off track and come back on there, or has pitted. What's going on there? Who is that? We definitely are catching. On the last lap of the race, we are catching. Oh no, don't lose it now. Oh no! And that's it, the race is over. 11 seconds, 9 seconds to make it across the line. Oh. And that was Nemesis we were catching up to there. That was great. Really enjoyed that. Oh, so Nemesis just say he ran out of fuel and had to pit. He hadn't come off the track. He was coming back on the track just where the pits are, so he'd had to pit. Well, guys, I'm going to end the stream there because I have to now. Cause I've got teaching going on the next stream. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed that. Loving Automobilista 2. Thank you to Reza Studios for a great year so far and for all of the work you've done over Christmas. And just looking forward to more of your work. I've got the season pass, so I'm looking forward to all the DLC. If after 2021 you decide to carry on with development of the game and decide to do another season pass for the next year, I'll buy that as well. And yeah, that's TARMAC Terrorist signing out. Thank you very much for joining in. Take care.